So it's been a little while since I cut all this down. It's all dead, and the reason I just kind of let it sit out and die is so that I can actually see what I'm doing as I cut it up into smaller pieces. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go around the yard and just cut up these into smaller pieces so I can chuck them in the wheelbarrow and put them in a pile, I guess. And then I think I might end up actually cutting down the rest of this low trees here and just leave the big tall ones. You can see in the tree the vines are dying or dead, so that kind of takes care of itself, I guess. But that's the next task, is just kind of go through, clean up all this. Some of this stuff needs to be cut up, and basically I'm just getting ready to burn as much as I can, so just kind of have a day where we just burn everything up. Be kind of a fun day. So we got the water runs down here. It kind of hits this corner here, and this is the wall. I'm assuming the wall is original to the building, but it's been kind of hitting this area because of no real protection over here. This used to be a pool. That's what the straight wall is the side of the pool, and it was actually used to be covered. The concrete went over the top. If I remember, I'll throw in a old satellite picture. But if we come around here, you can see right there and there is where the original railing and cover for the creek was. And based on these cuts, I'm going to assume that it was flat all the way down through here as well, and then met up here. And when they removed the pool, they kind of removed this section as well. But if we go down and we dig, we find out that in there is a proper poured concrete footing. And then there's 2 layers of blocks for the foundation here. And then we start off with the brick, and it's block on the inside. Clearly there's a bunch of damage on these bricks. Some of that might be from weather. I suspect most of it's from tearing out the old concrete. That seems to be mostly where the damage is limited to. But there was this big hole here, and it's still there. And that goes all the way down to around here. And there used to be a pump for the pool inside. That's my understanding. So this was originally, this hole was intentionally put there. So what I need to do, and then we got at least one block cracking, possibly the other one needs to be replaced. So what I think I need to do is replace all of this and get it into place and working well, and then I should be fine to pull that block and replace it. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get to that block because of the root, and I'm not really looking to kill those trees. That block may or may not be okay. Hopefully it is okay, but I need to replace this block. I need to replace these bricks here, those bricks, and do some just general work with the mortar itself. It seems to be holding up pretty well, but definitely needs some work here and there. One of the tasks I'm not going to do, I'll farm out to someone at some point in time, is to go through and do all the mortar work on both the garage and the house itself, because that's just a lot of work, and that would take me probably all summer just doing it by myself. But in the meantime, I just need to protect this a little bit from the water. Fill in that hole. There's a mouse that's getting in. There's another hole over here, I think. Yeah, right down here. I don't know if that one was intentional or not, but I need to fill that in as well. And then just protect it after doing some repairs. Just protect it so the water's not hitting it and causing more damage. And then it'll be okay for a while, and or at least a couple years until I can do the creek work I want to do, which at the very soonest will be next year. Might be the year after though. But that's kind of the idea of what to do here. All right, folks, so this room is now empty. The student that was renting it has gone back off to school. His internship is over. So it's time to find another roommate. I have the room listed. But just for numbers, I spent a little under $900 on this room, between all the window stuff, the AC unit, the paints and fixtures, all the kind of stuff. And I've brought in $2,500 in revenue. So I'm in the green or in the black by $1,600-ish. Now, the roommates don't pay, I have a fixed cost for rent. They don't pay electric, water, that kind of stuff. So that number is a little bit lower, but not much. But either way, I'm in the black on this room. The other room, the guy's leaving this month. He bought a house and he's moving his family down here. He was living here without his family. So he's moving out by the end of the month. And that room, I'm not in the black by as much, but I am still in the black on that room. So it's kind of interesting. I got to fill 2 rooms this month, next month, whatever. I'm not in a huge hurry, but I got to fill 2 rooms. I got ads up, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I get a couple good people again. Both of these roommates have been absolutely fantastic. So hopefully I get another couple good roommates in. So with my temperature sensors all over the place and insulation in the ceiling in this room, I've been able to gather this room is averaging about 6 degrees colder on a hot day than it used to be. So there is an improvement there. And that seems to be affecting the whole house. It seems to be doing better. Another little odd bit is the IT room over here. I discovered that if I keep this door, well, let's turn some lights on. If I keep this door open about this much, then that fan down there in the window is constantly sucking air out of the room and blowing it outside. But if I keep that door open that much, the IT room runs significantly cooler without negatively impacting my bedroom, which is through that door right there. So it's pulling cold air from underneath the silly accordion door and from my room. And that seems to be helping the IT room as well as also helping the house. And the whole house seems to be a little bit better because of that. This hallway up here normally gets crazy hot compared to just down the stairs. And it seems to be improved. And I think that's just from keeping the air moving through the house, just kind of keeping it chugging along. So I think long term is to put a vent in the door so it can remain closed and locked and still get the air it needs. And then when I replace that accordion door with a swing door, put a vent in it too. And then it could constantly keep air moving through that room. But it seems to be helping some, which is kind of counterintuitive. Opening up the door to the hottest room in the house doesn't seem like it cooled the house off, but it does. But the next project, which we're going to start in this video this week, is this termite damaged board. A couple of these. I'm going to replace those. Let's see, more light again. The gas pipe sticks out, so I'm going to put a 2x4 underneath it, both right underneath it and down here, so I have something to drywall up to. And then I'm going to start drywalling some of this because, well, having a big ass hole in your wall probably isn't the best for attracting new roommates. So see if I can patch up some of this. I still think it makes sense to leave this torn up for now on this side. Just kind of drywall up to there, but leave that torn up because I got 5 joists to tear out and replace above the ceiling. And as you can see, the ceiling's kind of, as I work, it's kind of slowly falling apart. Nails are popping out, old tape is popping out. That's just kind of happening everywhere. So it's just a matter of time before this whole ceiling has to go. Hopefully it does it on my schedule and not its own schedule. And I'm debating whether I should cut this open and do that now or do it later. I should probably do it now. But my guess is if I cut this open, I'm gonna find out I have to cut all that open and replace it as well. And right now it's working well. So I don't know. But either way, I'm gonna start drywalling on this stuff. And even if it's not finished, just to make it better and replace some of these termite boards. Here's a little bit better look at the stuff I gotta replace. These ones, I probably should replace too. What I don't want to have to do though right now is tear out this corner and this corner because of this stuff here. So I'm probably gonna leave this how it is. But this one, maybe parts of this one and this one, I don't know how important this one is. I think this one is just here for the drywall. No, not that one. This one. This one I think is just here for drywall and stuff because it just kind of ends here and it's not sitting on top of anything. It's just there, it just ends. I don't know. It'd probably be good to see it ends here. There's a joint right there. So I don't know all the deals with it, but I definitely need to replace this one. I don't know how well I'll be able to get to it. This one's actually pretty solid. It just doesn't go all the way up to the top anymore, although a couple shims would take care of that. But that's the project I'm starting today, and we'll see how far along I get. So this one wiggles quite a bit, and it makes me believe it's not attached to the stair side of the wall down here. So I think I can just pop this nail out and just kind of wail at it with the big hammer, or the big claw hammer, and knock that out of there and hopefully not tear up all that at the same time. So let's find out. So that did work. It was actually easier than I thought it would be. So I think I'll grab the grinder and just pop these nails off. And then I stick the vacuum down here and clean up what I can. So I think the plans might change just a little bit. As you saw when I took this out, it exploded. But that's just because it was so termite-eaten. There's still a little bit down there. What we have here though is the I-beam that goes over the basement. And it appears to have a piece of I-beam going down as well. This is not wood, this is steel. So that makes me believe that the 2x4 that is here isn't needed. It's not really supporting much. If anything, I could take a chunk of 2x4 and put it up to here and support the end of this, which means I only need to replace this one, which is already out. But I do need to replace this. It looks pretty bad, but I don't want to tear into here. So I think maybe the move is to make a cut flat along here and then butt it up to there. Grab one of the 4x4s from that used to support this, temporary support the ceiling, pop that in there, make sure there's plenty of pressure so it's actually doing a job, and then replace this and replace a section of this as well. And I think that's really what I just need to do here. I don't think I need to replace this. The spacing is fine to put one here that gets me my 16 on center from here. I don't know what this was doing other than holding up the end of this, which was fine. Ain't the end of the world there. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this alone. when I put the drywall in, I'll attempt to drive screws into it and see how that goes. Probably poorly. I do need to drill a hole in here for this wire. Get this buddy through here. But I think we're all right. I think this is kind of good news that that beam comes to there. Yeah. So this is in. It's pretty much just secured at the top. Can't get down there, and there's nothing. I got a screw through there. Anyways, I got that in. Chunk of the rod piece came out, no big deal. But it goes down to here. I don't really like that it's split, but I think that's okay for now. Because at some point, when I'm done with the rooms upstairs, I got to do these two rooms, and I have 5 joists or 8 joists underneath this floor to replace. So I'm gonna have to basically take out this whole stair section and do all this anyway. So I'm not too concerned about that because I'm gonna end up opening up this wall again and doing similar style work. So the next step is to get this through the hole that I drilled, and then I need to break out the grinder and make a nice even cut around there, and then I can start measuring and throwing up some drywall, I guess. So I've got this in. It's not great. That's a little too big. That doesn't quite fit right over there. Little gap up there. But I don't know that I'm gonna actually cover and paint this. I think I'm just kind of covering it up so it doesn't look horrible. I do need to cut in that edge there a little bit just to make it better, but I don't know that I'm gonna do a whole bunch of work to this until later on. So I'm just trying to make it more presentable than it was. So I need to do some of that next, and it should be looking better. That strip up there as well. Well, I really thought that would take longer than it did. I'm not great at this part. There's gonna be lots of flaws. I'm doing things, something's wrong here. But that's okay, because this is all gonna get torn out again. I know you guys hear that a lot, but that's what's gonna happen. When I come down here and do this room and add lights and rewire it and all that kind of stuff, I'm probably gonna strip this wallpaper and paint this wall and the ceiling. I don't know. I haven't decided how far I'm gonna do this. But it definitely, with the drywall up, it definitely feels more like a construction site than the exposed wood did. Which leads me to believe I'm probably gonna do something about that. But that's all right. This is kind of a mess over here. This joint's a mess, that kind of stuff. That's just kind of what it is. I ran out of drywall. I bought 3 sheets. I guess I should have bought 4. So that's I don't have a vehicle right now. So later in the week, after this video, I'll get more drywall and kind of take care of some of this. And I need to get corner beads and mud. So I guess I'm stuck here for the weekend until I can get more drywall and the rest of the parts. So outside this door, underneath this window here, we've got some loose wood that I noticed when doing some leaf blowing. I think it's best to take off these 3 pieces and see what's going on inside, because this is where the cat was focused on the mouse as well. So I think maybe that's where they're getting in. So I found little bugs in here. Don't know what they are. I suspect they might be termites. It seems like a logical thing given this house. Little white ant-looking things. So I gotta figure out what to do about that. In the meantime, I think the move here is to put a new bottom plate in. I need a stick of pressure treated wood for that. And then put these back on. But just silicone the crap out of it. They see all the silicone on the bottom, the window is gone. So water's getting in there. So I'm thinking silicone the crap out of it, screw them back on, and treat whatever this bug issue is. So if we come out to the garage, there's a thing I never addressed when I tore out all the rooms. I never finished pulling the nails out of these few joists, but that's no big deal. But it's all this. This insulation was glued to the concrete, and there's this cork material that was glued to the concrete, or to the blocks. And I mean, you can sit there and pick it off, but it's gonna take forever. It just seems like it's slow, and you can see where the old water leak was there. But it just seems like it's gonna take forever. So I figured the best way to do this would be to pressure washer. Seems like an easy enough way to strip all that off of there. And it'll be nice and clean. And it should do a pretty good job at it. And it'll make a mess, but not horrible mess. And then after that, I gotta tear off all this old drywall, old light fixtures, and remove the rest of the electrical system. worked okay-ish. Not fantastic, but not bad. Took less time than I thought it would. I got a bunch of this crap left over now. So I'm just gonna scoop it into a pile over there, and then I can bag it up after it dries out some. And then I'll just continue to wash stuff down and out the driveway. Battery's dead on the big camera, but I got this all cleaned up. It looks a lot better. That glue is just never gonna go away, that yellow stuff, but it looks a whole lot better on these other walls. All that's cleaned up. That stuff is outside where it can hopefully dry out. We're going in our dry season here, as far as I understand. So hopefully that can just dry out, and then it'll be nice and light and easy to toss in a trash bag and set out to the curb. I went ahead and pressure washed a whole bunch of this. Like, I didn't do like I did in the driveway. I just kind of cleaned it up a bunch. But I usually park right here, so that's a lot cleaner. That's cleaner. I need to fix up the driveway there. But it looks a lot better. It's a lot better. I'm curious if it'll make it smell better. What I am gonna do is leave the doors open basically till sunset. And then tomorrow when I wake up, I'll open them up and leave them open. That way this whole place can dry out, and hopefully that's that. I don't expect any issues from all the water, just because it's warm out, it's plenty of time to dry out and everything. There is still a little bit of cork left, kind of around the window frame here. And we got a little bit around this window as well. Yuck, just so much junk. So I don't know what to do about that. It's every time I try to get in there with the pressure washer, it ends up blasting bits back into my face. If I put my glasses on, I can't see because of the water on the glasses. If I take them off, I can't see because all the crap getting in my eyes. So for now, I'm gonna leave that. It's significantly better than it was. It doesn't look gross anymore. So yeah, I guess on to a more regular project.